Hey everybody, welcome back to the Sonic Adventure Revisit commentary, and now the story takes a backseat. It's time for the other three characters. Starting with Amy, a much slower Sonic with a giant hammer that has no combo potential, but she can run upstairs fast, and she gets chased by a robot repeatedly.
What disturbs you guys more about her intro? The fact that they flash her panties for a good 4 seconds or her legs clip through her dress? I'm not sure what disturbs me more.
She's like 12, right?
That's why it's disturbing. Yeah, that's why.
Well, I mean, it'd be disturbing no matter what, but it's more so that she's 12.
Okay,
Also,
so
there's
Ted,
no
Ted,
this bag.
Living on
This
her
bag
own
has
and
no. I
shopping
don't think this
for
bag has a bottom.
Ted, what disturbs you more? The fact that she's 12 or the fact that she's a hedgehog?
So
Wait, Sonic just runs through that box, I just realized. That's, no,
Yeah.
Yes.
Sonic.
I think part of that might have been introduced by the graphics mods, but it wasn't particularly good in the original.
It was always kind of hokey though in the original.
Yeah.
The rare reference to the Genesis games in the modern games.
Like the
So-
only
And
one I
the,
can think of.
and the beta version of Windy Valley.
Well,
Yeah.
Ryan, to be fair, this game makes pretty good references to things like Sonic 3 and Sonic CD. After SA1, that would stop. I think SA1 is pretty good about like a continuity.
Yeah.
Well, not that I mean, to be fair, it's not like the early... Why are the sidebars red?
Visual glitch.
Okay. To be fair, it's not like there's much to reference from the original games. I mean, aside from the fact that Angel Island is a place that exists, there's not much lore in in the original.
What was that?
Genesis
What
game.
was that? What was that flash to her by the police station? What was that about?
I have no idea. Also, so you might have noticed that we've also switched to the DX models. However,
Just to shut Ted up.
we get the best of both worlds actually, because we get the DX higher polygon models, but we still get the Dreamcast lighting thanks to mods.
Hey.
Thank you, mods.
So one thing. So as you said about Angel Island, because obviously this was the game where, in terms of like the canon and names, they started mixing the Western like Bible and the Japanese Bible to make something cohesive. So there wasn't any more of this Earth Mobius, disconnect anymore. Oh, so quick aside, Zero is the stupidest fucking robot Eggman has ever made. He sees her, goes in, oh, she's not on this window, she's probably not there anymore, it's fine, I'll go home. But like, was anyone...
no, thank you, I'm a vegetarian.
Was anyone else not confused, kind of confused when they started referring to the whole island as Angel Island? Because as a classics boy, the island was called Floating Island, and Angel Island was just the first place you went to. But from this game, it just became... I'm not 100% sure if in the Japanese canon...
It was always
the whole
Angel Island in
Japan?
the Japanese version.
Gotcha,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so that was kind of just a weird localization thing. I guess they wanted to minimize the use of the word angel at that point in time, but they were too lazy to change the name of the level in game, so they sort of half-assed it.
Well, I mean, I won't lie. Like the island itself being called Angel Island, I think is a better name than Floating Island. It's just that.
Well, I mean, because the island isn't always floating, so.
But
That's
it
a
just
given.
in my head now. It's just like the zone Angel Island. It's kind of like New York, New York. It's so good they named it twice.
Yeah, just the North American game called it Angel Island, so I just assumed that was like the whole thing.
The entire
Yeah,
area, not just the
same.
first act.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Amy's story confirms that Sonic walked very slowly around the town looking for people. Fastest thing alive, my ass.
Well, if they didn't have that happen, they wouldn't use the... I'm sorry, they wouldn't use the walking animation. I was distracted by that thing Amy does with her legs, which I now know is a real-life thing that Japanese girls tend to do.
Lewis, she's 12, you sick fuck. Stop looking at her legs.
No,
Are you talking about, like,
I'm
the
talking about
bow-legged thing?
I'm talking about the thing where she points her feet towards each other. Stop
Yeah.
doing that. You're gonna wear out your pelvis.
Jesus, Amy,
that's a
think
thing.
about your
That's a thing
pelvis.
in Japan. It's apparently supposed to be a really feminine, cutesy thing, and I'm like, no, it just looks weird.
Oh, I always thought they were like doing some sort of half Charleston or some other shit.
But yeah, occasionally you'll see that in
Charleston.
anime too, and that's why.
I love that Sonic runs away following the sidewalk.
Yeah,
I know.
it's great. You know what?
Gotta obey traffic
You
laws.
get run over.
He's a free spirit, but he's a law-abiding free spirit.
You know what
Gotta obey traffic laws.
I would love if when it cuts back to her in game, you just still see him running across the other side of the pavement. Bye,
I
Sonic.
mean, he's still here, yeah.
Why does he just wait for? If he's trying to get away from her, why is he like he's acting like he's waiting? He like said we're gonna meet at Pleasure. What's this place called again? Twinkle Park. It's like why would he run and then just wait for her there for?
Well, because he's still searching for Tails at this point. Now, I don't think he's scoured the entire area yet. Although he's taking a sweet-ass time.
And
Zero
Zero
is
just
so
patiently
slow.
waits off. Zero just patiently
Zero
waits
is
off screen.
so slow.
Man, okay, Amy.
It says nothing, Amy.
Okay, this is
Question
the
mark.
equivalent of Sonic being killed when he was distracted by a shiny thing. I mean, come on.
I love that line. Wait.
Well, you know what I missed though? I think if you play the original Dreamcast version, Sonic is standing still, but it's like he's being sucked into the elevator. he's just gonna drag across the floor. Amy, wait!
Amy's love really is a black hole.
Meanwhile, as Amy's running for her life, pressing the switches, Sonic's just on the roller coaster going, wee!
Okay, so Amy, she's
Bad.
her levels are kind of annoying.
Okay, there you go. All right, guys, we're done.
Yep, that's all they need.
Her levels are kind of annoying. She kind of suffers, I would say, the most from not really having levels designed for her. There are a few flashes of okay game design when she does get level areas designed for her, like the mirrors, but
That's honestly
know.
the only section I can think of that was designed
Yeah.
exclusively for her. Now that I think about
yeah.
it.
Well, she has Hot Shelter, too.
Yeah, Hot Shelter
Yeah,
a little bit.
she does have Hot
But
Shelter, which
Hot
is
Shelter is a level that's only fun as Gamma, though. So
Hot Shelter is the level for everyone but Sonic. So it
Tails.
does
Knuckles.
it
No, I
does
It's
think only.
it's Big Gamma and
The three
Big Amy
bad
and Gamma.
characters play
the
it.
three other characters, yeah.
basically
they
it's
get
a
Hot
it's a
Shelter.
level designed for the slower characters.
And
But
this music is creepy as fuck.
I will say I
Dude,
don't.
I'm confused by the random baby giggle in the soundtrack.
Dude, that's so fucked up. It scares me.
Yeah.
I have a child who laughs, and nothing unnerves me more now than a child's laughter thanks to this game.
Baby's first words was Hot Shelter.
Whenever Ben laughs, I scream and run out the room. I can't handle it anymore.
So waking up in the middle of the night to hear a baby's laughter doesn't creep you out anymore. It's just
I
affects
would
life.
rather wake up to the fucking girl from The Exorcist than
Okay.
wake up to a little boy laughing.
Okay, you know something? It just occurred to me as I'm watching this that even here, Amy is faster than Sonic Boom.
This is true.
I would rather play as that Amy, though, to be honest.
Well, yeah,
she
she,
can
has
triple jump.
she has the hammer. She's probably the one who benefited the most from the basic ass combo system that game had. But
It's
I don't-
what's also weird about Amy is that her first level is really, really short, and then Hot Shelter takes like a good 3 hours to finish. It's ridiculous.
My problem is that they put the slow character in a lot of stages that have a lot of inclines, and it just feels like a chore.
I
yeah,
think
you learn real quick to take advantage of her hammer jump to get some
Yeah.
speed going.
But
for those inclines.
that is a legitimately cool technique. I do like using the hammer.
Yeah, you know, I don't mind playing as Amy. In terms of just basic controls, she's fine. She's kind of enjoyable to play as. It's just that the levels attached to her are not fun.
the thing about Sonic is that the gameplay is really very simple. You can get through the entire game just by running and jumping. But
Oh, suddenly
but
it's
you
the
do-
Dreamcast model.
Yeah. They never updated the model for DX.
So
Like
anyway,
that cheesy like leg kicking thing.
the big thing about Sonic is that it's very simple, but you move really fast, and that's what makes it fun. If it were any more complex, the speed would probably be a detriment because you're trying to do a million things at once while also going really quick, and it'd be overwhelming. So if you've got a character that's supposed to slow down, you kind of want there to be a little bit more to it. And with Amy, there's just nothing more to it. Like, I mean, there's kind of the hammer jump thing, really, but that's really not
It's
really just a
anything
different jump.
interesting. It's just pressing the B button to jump.
They really should have capitalized more on her use of the hammer than they did, which I think the main reason they didn't is this game was clearly rushed, but
She only has 3 levels.
yeah. It's unfortunate, and I remember reading about this game in gaming magazines back in the day when I didn't have a Dreamcast, but I was drooling over it anyway. And I read the guide for this, and it seemed so awesome to have all 6 of these characters to play as. I had no idea who Amy was, but I liked the idea of playing as this girl hedgehog with a hammer. It seemed like a nice switch up. The robot 2 was probably the coolest thing conceptually. So.
Again, growing up with, especially specifically growing up in England. I mean, I know technically Amy had the hammer in Sonic Fighters, but growing up mostly reading Sonic the comic, there's a small part of me that was like, why doesn't she have the crossbow? Why didn't they give Amy a crossbow in this game?
Oh, she got a crossbow? Holy shit.
Yeah, in Sonic the comic, in Fleetway she had a crossbow. And she would, fuck people up with that. It was great.
Well, I think in the other comic continuity with Archie, I think they explained how her design...
She, magically ages up or something.
She wished to be older.
Yeah,
she wished to be older to be with Sonic.
The Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 1 specifically, that story arc in the comic was a trip because they also had to explain Eggman's design change from and because they already had him as Robo Robotnik from another dimension, they just had him change bodies, and apparently he's got 70 billion of them that all have different looks to them.
Wait,
and one of
so
them's like
he's
Eggman Hulk Hogan.
Wait, Eggman is Doctor Doom? What?
Yeah, and Lewis,
in a way,
because of that, Ken Penders tried to claim ownership of the current Eggman in the comic book because in continuity it technically started as some of the weird fucking alternates he created, and that's just like, what the fuck are you smoking, Penders, and can I please have some if you honestly think you own current Eggman in the old Archie book.
Robotnik.
I think that it's just something they quietly dropped.
They didn't so much quietly drop it. They had this story arc where
they
roboticized
rebooted it, man.
people. Well, no, they had this story arc where roboticized things got unroboticized, and Robo Robotnik turned into a human again. So yeah, it was. I think that might have also been related to the story arc.
But his body was a shell, though. Wouldn't he just disappear?
They did a hell of a lot of cleanup rebooting when the Flynn and Yardley era was getting started. There was this story arc that combined all the bajillions of Chaos Emeralds in the Archie comic universe into just 7.
Yeah, so it's like I want to say Ian Flynn's first story. It was like a 3-issue arc where he literally tied up something like 30 recurrent plot threads.
Yeah.
Just because it was this comic is so fucking convoluted. It's quickly and quietly. He killed off some characters, he removed some people. Let's just get back as quickly as we can to just regular ass Sonic the Hedgehog.
You could go for a higher score.
Isn't this an awesome game?
Now, here's the thing. There are two
well,
rewards.
Fuck you too, Amy.
There are 2 rewards for completing the Hammer Hedgehog thing, and you have to complete the high score twice in order to get them. So if you go for a really high score the first time, you're making things harder for yourself. Yeah.
But you'd rather just stand there and do nothing?
Yeah.
You do have to beat the game.
Easier.
So.
I love that not only did Eggman build this thing, but then when Amy beats his score, he's like, "What? This can't be happening!"
Which also means that Eggman sucks at his own game.
He's more surprised. He's more angry about that than the fact that she got out. Which is also,
I like the fact that Eggman programmed his game to give Amy a specific reward.
He designed a reward for himself so he can practice and get better at the game. So when he finally wins, he puts it on his head. That's like a parade. It's aren't I pretty?
Did you skip to...
That's culturally insensitive in this day and age, man. Fuck you.
Did you skip to the part where you had already gotten the special hammer?
You can't get the special hammer yet.
Until you have to get it once the egg carrier falls.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
In the other...
This music track is bitchin'.
Spoiler warning: I don't go back for it because I completely forget about it.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't
That's-
even
most
do
people
anything really good from what I remember.
It was dude. Okay, to bring measure to it again. Amy only has 3 stages, and you complete most of them in about under 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Amy's story is about 40 minutes long, and 30 minutes are cutscenes.
Yeah.
Well, that's when you know what you're doing. Hot Shelter sucks. This might be Amy Hot Shelter, depending on how lucky I am with Big and on any given playthrough, is probably my least favorite level in the entire game. I hate this place.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's fair
drop right into the water so the robot gets stuck there.
Well, that's basically what you have to do if you don't want to rip your hair out. Like, I'm thinking of the part that gets me is, I don't remember how late. Oh, yeah, get those Mario Party flashbacks coming right back to you.
Honestly,
Imagine doing that with the Dreamcast controller, which has the
Honestly,
same hard
Again,
plastic.
I don't have a problem with the Dreamcast.
honestly,
It's-
zero,
Ugh.
zero,
is good.
Oh,
zero,
ugh,
zero,
ugh.
zero, 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 zero is really, really easy to take out.
Ted, I just want to say, like a few parts ago when Clement insulted the GameCube controller, the comments went crazy. Now you've insulted
I
the
haven't
Dreamcast
been
controller. Now the comments are
reading.
going to go even worse.
Gareth,
Although
do
I
you
would
think
love
I've
it if
been
they did.
reading the comments? I know
Oh
better.
yeah, you haven't read the comments in 2 years. Good for you. Although I will say, Ted, people have been getting annoyed at us constantly, even though they're direct sequels, and that's what people of this franchise do. People get annoyed when you and I compare SA1 and SA2. So Ted, I'm going to say, as bad as this level is for Amy, it's still better than any of her SA2 levels. Get fucked.
Actually, Amy's really
I
fun to
can't
play
argue
in the
with that.
multiplayer of SA2. Screw yourself.
Yeah, I was gonna say Amy in multiplayer is way better than Amy here. So
Yeah.
But I
Fuck
forget.
off.
Was Amy with the extra characters in the original Dreamcast version of SA2?
Nah, I
Yes.
don't
I
know.
feel
they
like-
were
yeah.
unlockable.
Yes.
Everybody plays
yes.
battle anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, they were in Dreamcast, but you needed a certain amount of emblems.
Amy,
on
if I
them.
remember,
Oh,
is the
fuck
best
that.
one. Because
Yeah,
I think
she's
she gets
broken.
her power ups faster. If I remember.
What
She
the?
does, but she's rated 3 stars.
What the hell?
If
How-
she's rated 3, Metal Sonic's rated 4, and Sonic and Shadow are rated 5 stars.
Yeah, but Amy's better than all of them. Girl power, I guess.
I think
Again, STC, it works. It's fine.
What
Did you
was
know
her-
in the SA2 multiplayer, you have to mash the button in order to make the time stop go faster?
Oh, I knew that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
It seems like something some people wouldn't know. They just wait for the time to run out. And then,
Yeah, but it's a yeah.
Idiot.
To be fair, it was something I found by accident.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know about it. Were you trying to say something, Lewis?
John, no, get the
What?
John. Wait, they're right
Was
there.
This
Oh,
this weird voice in my head.
to get the rings.
Johnny,
What?
that weird voice is in every single BrainScratch part I hear it as well. It's really annoying.
were you trying to do a sort of speedrunny hammer jump trick to get around that?
Yeah, then I hit the corner.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
thought
working.
so.
I forget. So Johnny, you might know this because you partake in these things more than I do. But like, so I know for speedruns, obviously, Sonic is the game everyone does. Does Amy ever get speedrun?
Yeah, there's different categories for different characters, but
There's
I
a
don't watch
speed
those
run
'cause
of-
they're not as exciting.
There's a speed run of everything so that somebody can say I've got world record in X, but that doesn't mean that it's competitively run or that people care about it.
Yeah.
It just means that one jack off did it just so that they can
It's
say,
really easy to get world record if you're the only one doing it.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh man, I've got
that's why there are world records for these really obscure games no one has or no one plays that are just kind of mediocre at best.
I have to
And,
find one
and
of those.
to
That
his
must be
credit,
best.
there is something about Amy's levels that are a little more exhilarating when you're trying to speedrun it.
I mean,
Mainly
look at
because,
these puzzles.
You're trying. Yeah,
How
I
the
mean,
fuck would you? How the fuck
God.
would you know to put these
Can you
purple
ima-
squares
can you imagine
into place
if you were
where
just
they're
able to
there?
take these boxes and throw them through the monitors and say "fuck this puzzle"? I want nothing to do with this. But no, when you're trying to keep the speed going just so you can utilize more hammer jumps, that feels good. But it's like, there's just too many other downsides to me to give a shit about it.
this part
I
actually
like-
did.
This channel sucks.
The figures. I like to imagine when they first made that quote unquote puzzle. I like to imagine that originally, like the correct color boxes were right by their selective holes, and Naka was like, no. We have to make this more challenging. Move the blue and the orange ones. Make the players do some work. It's like, that is the
Wake
shittest
them up.
puzzle. That's like the shittest puzzle in video game history. It's embarrassing.
Okay, so this part right here, though, this part as a kid took me forever because you'd keep on getting hit by Zero, and it gets in the way of you trying to put the things down.
Okay.
If you're bad at the game, sure.
Because I'm 8 years old, you asshole. All right. The only way I was
is-
able to beat it is because I knocked him off, and he didn't know how to jump back onto the stage.
Zero is not that hard once you know that if you just do a jumping hammer swing at his face, it stuns him for a good few seconds.
I don't even do that. He's so slow.
Well, yeah.
Every time I ever go up to the rafters, he just disappears on me.
Yeah.
It looks like it happened now.
I forget. Is it if you hit him 3 times, he becomes invulnerable?
Yes.
Yeah.
Around that, yeah.
Because again, I don't have a need to. I think once in a while I might hit him once, but generally I just very slowly walk away from him because he poses literally no threat to anyone playing.
Watch
this
out!
game.
They're slowly getting away.
I literally just said that he was annoying. I'm a person.
Okay, let me rephrase that. He poses no threat to anyone important.
Okay, that's more accurate, but still hurt.